Ah, yes. It's Cannabis News. I'm your host, Joe Klare. It's November 21st, 2019. The show, as always, is presented to you by the Marijuana Times. You can find us at marijuanatimes.org. Click the video tab there to find the show. A lot of great articles as well from a bunch of great writers. Also, social media links and more, marijuanatimes.org. Today, talking about just how many people still think that marijuana should be completely illegal across the board. We also have medical marijuana news out of Thailand and Florida. All of that coming up. First, of course, Cannabis News is brought to you by Natureside, nature-side.com, and their organic, all-natural pesticides. Grow safe and poison-free with Natureside. They're awesome. A proud sponsor of Cannabis News. They can help you be regulatory compliant. You don't have to use banned pesticides or awful chemicals on things. Instead, you can use Natureside. Nature-side.com, a proud sponsor of the show for now over 2 years. Thank you, Natureside. This first story is by yours truly at marijuanatimes.org. We've come a long way. Basically, there's this new Pew Research poll they do periodically. All the big pollsters do it now. Marijuana legalization, they break it down by demographic and age and all of that, and how many people think it should be recreational or just medical. And basically, the bottom line is, this new Pew Research poll, 67% of respondents believe cannabis should be legal for any reason, aka the adult use recreational legalization supporters. Only 8% of respondents think cannabis should not be legal for any reason, medical, any reason at all. 8%. Now you think back to 1969 in the first Gallup poll when 12% of people thought it should be legalized. 50 years later, we have 8% left of people who think that there is no reason marijuana should be legalized. Even 3 years ago in the Pew Research poll, that number was 15%. So basically the point of me writing the article is every once in a while I want to remind people that we have done a lot. I mean, there's many more steps to go. It's slow, it's incremental. Sometimes there's steps back, there's problems. But we've pushed with, shout out to the internet, big ups to the internet, with the help of the internet, we've pushed the public perception and the needle, if you will, completely to the other direction when it comes to marijuana legalization. And that is a great thing. And that's something to stop for a minute and be proud of. For each of us have done our part. I've done my part over the last 10 or so years. I know you all have as well. Even if it's just sharing videos like this or articles or whatever. And we need to acknowledge, for at least for a moment, that we've made a lot of progress. And we need to continue to do so. And the good news is we know how to do so because we just did it. There you go. That's clear. Big ups again to the internet. You're my dog. This next story is from Forbes.com. Thailand will soon allow its citizens to grow cannabis at home to sell to the government. That's right. You heard that correctly. I know what you're saying. That can't be true. Well, Forbes says it is, so we're going to go with that. Thailand is ramping up medical marijuana legalization efforts. They will soon allow all Thais to cultivate 6 cannabis plants in their home and sell their homegrown harvest to the government to turn into medical marijuana. Recently appointed Health Minister Anutin Charnavarakul in Bangkok said, "We are in the process of changing laws to allow the medical use of marijuana freely. We have high confidence that marijuana will be among the major agricultural products for Thai households. We are speeding up law changes, but there is a process to it." Basically, you'll be able to grow the marijuana, and they will sell it back to the government, and then the government will distribute it through to the medical marijuana patients and such. On September 2nd, Mayo University researchers planted 12,000 new seedlings in northern Thailand's Chiang Mai while government officials looked on. Seedlings were provided by the government's Department of Medical Service. Government pharmaceutical organization hopes to cultivate the plants to harvest enough ingredients to manufacture 1 million bottles of cannabis oil. They also point out in the article that, not everybody can grow marijuana. It's not just to throw a seed in the ground and come back in a couple months. No, voila, marijuana. It's not the way it works. There's a lot of care, a lot of expertise that goes into it. So basically, by throwing this open to everybody, with the, to be more diplomatic, various levels of expertise, some of the marijuana grown is going to be subpar quality-wise. But the pay is good. The proposal is each mature marijuana plant would be sold to the government for $2,225 A household could earn $13,350 for selling their entire allotment of 6 plants. Quite an alluring prospect considering the average Thai salary is reportedly around $8,200 per year. So they sell their plants for over $13,000. That's a lot. I mean, which is going to mean that a lot of people are going to, do that. They're going to grow marijuana and sell it. And as I said, the quality will vary. There'll be problems. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I gotta ad blocker on this. I hate that. I gotta turn off my ad blocker. It'll show me this one story. The probably only story I've ever read. I'll get it right, from Bradenton.com. Almost half of Florida's medical marijuana users choose smokable pot now that it is legal. And that graphic is wrong. Graphic snafu. There you go. If you're on the lookout for it. It happens sometimes. More than 1.82 million ounces of smokable medical marijuana were ordered for 128,000 patients over a 6-month period. A new state report shows that translates to about 114,000 pounds or 57 tons of flower marijuana. The report was compiled on behalf of the State Board of Medicine and the Board of Osteopathic Medicine. It shows that 44% of the almost 300,000 patients certified to use medical marijuana as of September 30th are smoking it. So it's just been legal for the last 6 months. As you know, there was a huge battle over smokable marijuana in the Florida Medical Marijuana Program. 44% are taking that route, which really is not surprising. A lot of people smoke marijuana as the easiest way to use medical marijuana. And 120,000 patients, it's pretty good. And just think of 57 tons of flower marijuana for just 120,000 patients. Extrapolate that over the entire country. How much marijuana will be grown and sold every year in this country? It is mind-boggling, if you will. They have a lot of other data about the Florida Medical Marijuana Program. If you are interested, some of the ailments covered in Florida are cancer, HIV, AIDS, and post-traumatic stress disorder. There's also the patients who suffer from the same kind of conditions as the 10 specific conditions can qualify for medical marijuana. Also, from chronic non-malignant pain, which is where a lot of the medical marijuana patients in Florida land as far as category or why they're using medical marijuana. So, Florida's growing. They say they have about 180 dispensaries in the state now. Of course, that number is expected to grow, and it's been rocky. If you follow what's going on in Florida, either through this show or other means, it's been rocky. I'm not going to lie. But they are moving forward. And overall, that's really what this episode has been about. Progress, moving forward, maybe even patting ourselves on the back a little bit. Or the shoulder. Anyway, thanks everybody for checking us out. That's Cannabis News for today. We're here 5 days a week. MarijuanaTimes.org, YouTube, Vimeo, Apple Podcasts for the audio version of the show. Thanks for watching and listening today. We'll see you next time right here on Cannabis News.